Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 4, Episode 21, For the Cause. So this is basically like the Hail Hydra episode of Deep Space Nine, for you Marvel fans, if you guys get that or not. So the whole episode is, the main plot is basically somebody is smuggling supplies to the Maquis, which, if memory serves, which my memory usually doesn't, we haven't seen the Maquis since like season 2, the Defiant episode with Thomas Riker, at least a Maquis episode. So it's kind of cool that they're bringing them back, because I feel like the Dominion's been a little heavy lately, so it's nice to see these guys come back. And the number one, like, person who they think it is, suspect, is Kasidy Yates. And so, like, Sisko is really conflicted, and he's like, well, is it her? Do I really, can I even do this? Conflict of interest, stuff like that. And, like, at one point, they send her out there, and they see her do a rendezvous with a Maquis ship. And so the second time, she's about to go out again, and Sisko's like, you know what, let's just stop all of this. Let's just go to Risa together. Which I think this is the second time they've mentioned Risa in Deep Space Nine. I think the first one was the Q list, the one with Vash. And so I think this is the second time. I could be wrong. But later on, we'll actually go to the planet Risa with the crew. So that's kind of cool. And she's like, no, I'm sorry, Ben. I got to go do this. And so Sisko follows her with the Defiant crew. And they realize that the whole thing was a big setup. And Commander Eddington, the Federation Chief of Security, has been orchestrating this whole thing. And like I said, it's a very like Hail Hydra moment where you realize he's been undercover this whole time, and he was the like master of this plan and set everything up. So finally Sisko reveals that he's following her, and she's like, you know, I kind of knew. And it turns out this whole thing was a big plot, and they go back to the station and they have to take it back over from Eddington. And it's an interesting story. I love seeing the Maquis, but overall it was a little too like double play for me. But it was nice to see, like, things are not always happy on Deep Space Nine. Things are very rarely happy. And that's something we've talked about compared to like The Next Generation, where it's very episodic. This has very big story arcs. Kasidy has had a very big story arc. And this is a big twist, where at the end of the episode, Sisko has to have her arrested for it. And Commander Eddington, who's been in several episodes, ends up being a traitor and being part of the Maquis. And now we'll see him, I think, 2 more times in the series for the next season. But overall, it's not a happy episode. It's kind of an episode to remind you that things are very rarely happy. Like, this is not the paradise of Earth where people don't have money and people don't need this. This is outer space. This is like real life where things basically just suck all the time. And like on the subplot, we see Garrick, who is like interested in Ziel, which ends up being Ducat's daughter. And I think this is the 3rd time we've seen her, and it's a new actress. And she's like, yeah, I know you killed my grandpa, but oh well. And it's just kind of interesting to watch that play. And Kira's like, back away from her. And of course he doesn't listen. But overall, like, it's a interesting episode as far as like character study, but it's a very sad episode, and it's one of those, this is a stepping stone for a much larger arc. So for those who have seen this one, like, did you guys foresee Eddington joining the dark side? Did you see Garrick being interested in Ziel? What did you guys think about this episode overall? Go ahead, let me know. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for To the Death.